Welcome back. Who's had a great day so far? Say yeah. Who's ready to finish strong? Give me another yeah. Righto. So, grab your notepads out, everyone, because I'm going to link in something from this morning on Identity Iceberg that I want to go a lot deeper on, and I want to relate it to our finances. Okay, so I'm now going to go back to a principle I skimmed by this morning on this one right here. What's it say? Nice and loud. Limiting beliefs. The beliefs that hold us back. Write that down. It's the beliefs that what? Hold us back. And straight after the break, I'm just going to go straight to the heart of the limiting beliefs around. Please write this one down over here. The limiting beliefs around this one here being what, everyone? Money. Now, my journey, it's not to say I'm done on it, because there's still a few that creep in if I don't watch myself. I've had to do a huge amount of work on these two flip charts. You know, most of you will know that I state the figure quite openly and quite regularly. In my journey, I've invested more than $1.4 million in my own education. Right? Someone taught me a flip chart long ago. I won't draw it, but I want you to write it down, which is the more I learn, the more I what? Earn. Okay? I'll give that guy credit. His name's Brad Sugars. And I got on that concept and I said, man, I got to do more. I got to understand more about the entrepreneurial journey, and as it relates to these two flip charts, I had to have a look in the mirror around, back in the day, why I didn't have enough money in my bank account. And it was a very big soul-searching moment for me, because I had to go and address a few kind of demons and get the backyard cleaned up before I could progress. Now, I know some people in the room have done some work on limiting beliefs around money. Just raise your hand if you've done a little bit of work on that area. I know a few of you have. Who's still got a lot more to do? Thank you. That's the work right there. So, your first exercise after the break, I'm just going to put on some think music. And your task is to put a bullseye on what are the limiting beliefs around money that have held you back. Now, it could be historically, hey, these are what I used to do, but I kind of got rid of them. And it could be, I'd still like some present ones today. Okay, so I'm good for some that you've maybe addressed or some that are still going around. Okay, and I just want you to have a bit of a soul search. Grab the mirror for the next couple of minutes. On your notes, top 1, 2, or 3 limiting beliefs around money. Right? There's a whole stack of them. Go deep on yourself. No one talking. Let's go. Okay, we're going to get those handouts out, team. Thank you. So, we're going to do, I do want to share these, but we're going to do it in an orderly fashion. So what we're going to be doing, guys, here in a minute when all these handouts hit the deck, make sure you pass those around when they hit your table, please, is that we are going to split out into pairs. What are we going to split out into, everyone? Pass them around. Pass them around. Now, I've handed out a document. You're going to have plenty of time to read it. Don't look down. Look at me. All right? Curiosity is an interesting thing, hey? What's he given us? So I've handed out something called the 10 Commandments of Money. What is it, everyone? 10 Commandments of Money by a guy called Reverend Ike. Has anyone ever run into or listened to that guy called Reverend Ike? Raise your hand if you have. Right? Literally 1 or 2 people. Okay? So Reverend Ike was actually a pastor in America. And he did a lot of things doing that profession, but he eventually ended up doing a lot of his career in personal development around this here called what, everyone? All right, of why people didn't have enough, etc., etc. Amazing guy. Died in 2009, I believe. And he wrote these 10 Commandments of money. And what we're going to be doing is a little exercise to go through each one. And we've actually done them on like a laminated style of paper. Why? So that you can do what with them? Put them on the wall, right? Now, if you want a good laugh and also some learnings, like when I did a lot of his work, this was over 15 years ago, I did his work on tape and CD. Anyone of the old school did the tape and the CDs, right? Okay, good. So I haven't done what's out there on Audible and all that, but if you go and just write in your notes, Reverend Ike, go and do a bit of learning downstream. Very, very interesting guy. So what we're going to do here is we're going to split you up into pairs. So what I need you to take with you is the document from Reverend Ike, the green one, and whatever note paper you're doing, okay? So, or if it's computers, you're going to take your computer. So you're going to take Reverend Ike's document and whatever note paper and pens or computers, etc. with you. Okay, so could everyone please be upstanding? Now, I'm going to give you some instructions on once you find your partner. Look at me. And when you find your partner, you're going to go to all four corners of the room, right? We're going to be away from your tables. You can sit on the floor, on the steps. You can go, but I want to spread out, okay, for this last session. So right now we're going to choose our partners, and they need to be off your table and someone you do not know from a bar of soap. Now, hang on. Raise your arm in the air, please, everyone. Everyone raise your arm. And you're going to point to your new partner. Go. Righto, go to your partner. Keep your hand up if you don't have a partner. Keep your hand up if you don't have a partner. Go towards someone with their hand up. Go towards someone with their hand up. Keep your hand up. Hand up behind you, David. No. Hand up, hand up, hand up over here. Raise your hand if you don't have a partner. You guys, there's two there. Amy, raise your hand. Raise your hand if you do not have a partner. Come on, Tanya, get your shit organised. Has anyone not got a partner? Keep your hand up. Righto. Stop. Stop. Tanya, have you got a partner? Righto, you're going to go in a trio. Someone adopt Tanya right now, close by. No, Sarita, she wants you, so you're supposed to be with her. Righto. So, team, choose an A. Actual fact, what you're going to do to start with, please, is you're going to be spending with your partner about 3 minutes to read all 10 of Reverend Ike's 10 Commandments, right? And I want you to take some notes, maybe which one rings a bell when you do it, right? So let's go with your partner. You can just have a read in silence, 3-4 minutes. You can have a seat if you do want to. Let's go. I'm interested in hearing from a couple of people each microphone. What's the money limiting belief? And what did you speak about on the 10 Commandments? I'd like some new people to the microphone. Here's your chance to get a bit of healing. Let's do this. Jump up. You should be eager to get up and cough this bastard up. Righto. 2 maximum, please. I don't want too many. We're going to be here till midnight. Righto. Okay, good. I need to do financial literacy again, I think. All right, very good. You are here first, sir. Who are you? Where are you from? What's the business?
I'm Darren. I'm from Bundaberg, and my wife and I own BTR Performing Arts Academy. I think my biggest one is that I've always been a big believer that you can't take money with you when you die, so why not
I
spend it?
can't take money.
I can't take money with me when I die, so why shouldn't I spend it and have fun? And that memories are more important than savings. That was my belief.
Yep.
But more and more, I'm starting.
What did that cause for you guys from a equity position and debt position?
We were in negative debt only probably a year ago.
Right, so we're in debt. Yep.
Yeah. So, and our net worth was in negatives.
Okay.
Now it's starting to get well into the positives, which is good.
Right.
So we're at a stage where we can look to start investing in other businesses and stuff like that. So
you went a historical one.
yes.
Right. Okay.
So I'm more thinking, like I brought it up with the partner I was talking to, and I go back to the taco ad. Whereas, why can't I have both? You know?
I haven't seen that ad.
It's the soft shell and the hard shell, and the little girl goes, "Why can't we have both?"
Okay,
So
all right.
for me, that's why can't I have memories and wealth and pass that on to my son, generational wealth.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So what you're saying there is a great Keith Cunningham quote that I use regularly. Write this one down. Is you're saying, why do the tyranny of or when I can do the genius of and?
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay,
I'm
good. Give him a hand. Well done, Darren. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. I think you've introduced yourself already.
I have. One of the ones that stood out, I actually circled 4, but the one that really stood out to me was number 3, specifically the sentence, "Money has no power over me to make me do evil."
Yep.
I have all the power over money. So money has been our evil for quite some time.
Yep.
And we are actually really excited because we just sold our principal place of residence for $76,000 over the asking price,
Right.
which will give us a lot of leverage into our business and hopefully help me change our mindset around money as well. So.
Give me more on that. I'm not complete.
Like what?
So what's the core? Is the core belief that money is evil? Is that what I heard, or I don't deserve it? I'm just not clear.
No, not that we don't deserve it. More so that we probably feel like it's been evil to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You do know that money doesn't have a personality,
I know.
don't you?
I know. But that's what I read from that statement.
Good. Okay. Okay. Anything else? No. Give her a hand. Well done. Good job. Yes, sir. Who are you? What's the business? Where are you from?
So my name is Ravi. I'm the CFO of the DIFA Group, and I'm here with my wife as well for our other business, Hinterland Learning. So I think we must have touched on this last year because I had a light bulb moment where I sort of had this limiting belief about money. You know, it sort of goes back to rule 8 there, thou shalt not deny money, where I always felt like it'll run out, there's not enough of it, and there's a contradiction, or there was a pretty big contradiction in my head because I always back myself to get it done. Like whatever needs to happen to make ends meet, I can do it.
So you what you're saying or what you're telling the room is that either you have or currently have had or currently have scarcity.
Absolutely. Actually, that's how it came about. There was abundant scarcity, and then I remember we discussed this. So for the last 12 months, I've put in a pretty big effort at letting it go. I think if you...
How have you done that?
Oh, I just made a decision, to be honest, and just thought, bugger this, let's try something different.
Give me some examples.
So, mate, if you'd called me the tightest person on the planet Earth, I would have taken that as a compliment without blinking about it.
All right, so so you wore it as a badge of honour, is that if I can hold it tight and not give it away and it's all mine?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you were proud of that?
Oh, mate, absolutely. The guys in the office know I was the hardest person to get cash out of for anything. So, which can be a handy trait for a CFO, but it's not.
Yeah.
it's not conducive in the long term.
So at this stage, Ravi, I just want to hold you there. Could everyone else from the DIFA group stand up now, please? Righto. So I'll start with the leader of the pack, Dylan. Have you noticed more abundance in Ravi, or is he telling a good old story there? Yep, he is definitely. Okay. How have you seen that? What's the example of that? Right, so you employed a finance manager so that he didn't have control over every little Telstra bill that was being paid. Is that what you're saying? And the milk getting bought and... Okay. All right, good. All right, well, yes, exactly. And has he brought you flowers or anything, Dylan, or... No? Okay, good. All right. Yes, sir, have you noticed a change? Or... Yeah, so he's paying bills on time, which gives you leverage over suppliers, etc. All right. Okay, thanks, DIFA Group guys. Thank you. Anything else, Ravi?
Well, I've done that for 12 months now, both at home and at work, and surprisingly, the world hasn't fallen apart, and life's gotten better, to be honest. So,
well, isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
It was good coming. Give him a hand. Thanks, Ravi.
Thanks, mate.
Ange, what do you got?
I'm a little bit obsessed with money, and I put a value on it. The more I make, the more I feel valued to myself. So I think this is kind of a key thing that thou shalt not serve money, rather money shall serve me. So that's the key point that what's enough? You know, how much is enough?
Well, you tell me.
That's what I've got to discover. That's the key for me right now. Haven't worked that out, Bruiser, but that's what I need to work out.
Well, look, I mean, it's a big question. All I can do is to reference people that have made more than anyone in this room, including me. I mean, you know, when Warren Buffett rings Bill Gates and says, how about we try to end malaria, how much do you need? And he writes him a cheque for $35 billion. You know, it just takes to a completely different level of what impact money could do, right? And what you could do to be, to serve in whatever cause is important.
Correct. It's not a bad hobby to have, making money. So that's
if
my
you
hobby.
just find it as I didn't see that in the commandments, but nonetheless, it's all good. Give her a hand. Well done, Ange. Thank you. Tom, what do you got, buddy?
Good, thanks, Bruiser. How you going, man?
I'm winning.
Good, dude. I'm Tom from Origin Canine, and I manufacture tactical dog gear for police and military units. So my 3 limiting beliefs, and I can kind of tie them into one, I think. So money's not important. I just enjoy the work. Why should I get the profit? My team do all the work. And I don't want to look like a rich dickhead.
So which was the biggest one in there?
Probably... Why should I get the profit? My team does all the work.
Okay.
And I've linked all of those to rule number 10, thou shalt not seek something for nothing, however thou shalt make the most of the money.
So that number 10 normally, write this down, normally comes from a self-worth place. Is that I'd prefer others to, because of whatever reason, therefore I'll, judge down. It's a self thing, which actually Wado talked about self-sabotage. Who remembers that? Remember the 50-250? That's that. That's a self-worth conversation. So more to do under that rock, but I'm good that you've nailed it in terms of putting a bullseye on it.
Cool.
Give him a hand. Well done, Tom. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Who are you?
Hey, Bruiser, Amanda Roach from BTR Performing Arts Academy.
And
my newly launched business, Carly Coaching.
Thank you. Your husband forgot about that when he was at the microphone. But anyway, keep going.
So I don't think it's any coincidence that my husband and I have gotten up to talk about this. This is probably a big topic within our relationship, our investments, business, everything at the moment. And probably a limiting belief for me is I remember once when I was a little girl, my mum said to me, Amanda, you can't always have everything you want. And I was like, yes, I can. However...
Just a quick one. Who else had a similar conversation with a parent figure? Let's just do that. Isn't that interesting? So you know, just before you keep going, Amanda, write this down, everyone. You can actually stop that as a generational pass down. Write that down. Continue.
However, I think in some ways that determination has served me in a negative way, because it'll be like, well, the justification of, well, if I want it, I've worked hard, I can just go buy myself that regardless of budgets, anything else. So probably for me, number 2 rang really true for me, because it's easy at the moment. We're going through that transition period of cutting back work to increase a new business, and to be honest, it kind of sucks at the moment. But it's just acknowledging: are we still paying our mortgage? Are we still feeding our family? Have we got a roof over our head? Are we clothing ourselves? There's still a lot of good, but you'll still speak evil of the lack rather than maybe
hang on, just say that
embracing
again. Just give me that last sentence again.
Speak evil of the lack of money.
That's what you have chosen to speak.
Presently, yep.
Will it continue to serve you?
Absolutely not.
Okay. So I said it before, I think this morning. Please write this down, or it might have been yesterday, but I'll say it now. Grab a pen, everyone. Be very careful with our words. Our words become our experience. So continually speaking evil about the good old money, which I might add doesn't, as I said to the prior person doesn't have a personality.
Yep.
Okay, continue.
Oh, that's kind of really all I had to say. Was that realisation of, and I have been doing work on that, but it's still very easy to lay the blame on that lack around other things rather than just taking responsibility for it and making, little tweaks and changes that, could move us forward.
Will move you forward.
Will move us forward.
Are you seeing there's a few sentence structure that you still got a bit goofiness on there, Amanda?
Absolutely.
Okay, be really careful.
Yep, will do.
And I will give both you and Darren an acknowledgement on your courage to do the transition, right? This has been a few years in the making since we ran into each other.
Yep.
And it's interesting that on the same limiting belief, you both had the courage to get up to the microphone in the best part of 600 people to own it publicly.
Yep.
Who thinks that takes a bit of courage? Yeah. Well done, Amanda. Good job. Okay, so I'd like to go through 4 ways to bust up a limiting belief. Who'd like that? Say yeah. Okay, good. So let's draw it. 4 ways or 4 steps to change a limiting belief. Here they come. Number 1, you got to acknowledge it. What do you got to do? You got to acknowledge it. So you actually, to go back to the flip chart, and you can, tomorrow when we whoosh at 4 o'clock, I think we're finishing tomorrow, you can take one of the flip charts home with you, whichever one spoke to you the most. Maybe this is your one. But to start with, if you go back to the 4 stages of skill learning, to start with, what was the bottom stage on that 4 steps, everyone? Unconsciously incompetent. right? So unless you know about it, can you do anything about it if you don't know about it? And the answer is, everyone, no, right? So when a coach or a mentor or some person important in your life shows you the mirror and it's true, and you got to firstly acknowledge it. You can't do anything if you don't acknowledge it. Here's your second one, everyone. You then, which is probably harder, then you got to do what? Own it. You got to own that sucker. And I thought the Q&A panel was excellent today. Who would agree with me on that? We had people go right to the button on vulnerability, right? And just as we've seen twice now, or multiple people actually on there, I'll just acknowledge again Amanda and Darren. They owned it publicly. Now, quick question, and I want an honest answer here. Please stand up in the room when you did your partner breakout before. Please stand up if you stated your limiting belief around money and then went into some form of justification. Come on. Here's the belief, and this is, well, I'll tell you about it. Okay, thank you. Give him a hand for your honesty. Well done. So just be careful on that, is that if you are justifying when you acknowledge it, you're not actually truly what, everyone? Okay, good. Point number 3. You need to let go of certainty. What do you need to let go of, everyone? Certainty. Certainty holds us back. The reason why we don't go and do a lot of, growth, advancement, etc., is a fear of getting out of our comfort zone, which is also called what, everyone? Certainty. Okay? Who's been guilty of that in your life? Right? Good. You've got to throw the bow lines off. Write that down. And last but not least, we need to do this, is change self-talk. Change self-talk. So, around your tables, just spend 2 minutes. What are some techniques? What are some tools to change the self-talk that we do to ourselves? Around you go, start with the person on your table. By the very look of them is going to be first to the bar. Okay, just call out. What are some ways, what are some techniques or tools to get this self-talk under control, everyone? What do we got? Affirmations. What else? I am statements. What else? Visual reminders. Give me some more. Environment is 100%. Yep. Accountability. Good. What else? Languaging. Uppercuts. What was someone else over here? Yeah, catching yourself. Probably one I haven't heard, please write this down, is gratitude, or a gratitude log. Okay? See, it's really hard to have a limiting belief if you're truly grateful. I'll tell you an interesting little thing that happened to me in 2019. We took over the first humanitarian tour to KCM in Uganda, right? The most fulfilling week of my life, right? And guess what we're doing next year, everyone? We're going back, all right? And we're going to take 22 or 3 people who want to come back and serve. My aim is to send 2 tours out for the next decade while we do this work. Who thinks over that 10 years you might be on one of those? Raise your hand. Okay, good. Amazing. Now, one of the things that we do out there is we put on this thing called a medical camp. And what it is essentially free healthcare, come one, come all. We have 7 doctors, we had, I think they do change it around, we had 7 doctors, a path lab, optometrist, pharmacy, dentist, women's health, the whole thing, right? And I got talking to one of the doctors and I said to him, tell me, you know, what are the major conditions and diseases? And he listed them all off and I said, okay, that's thank you. And then I said, what about mental health? You know, how, and he said, we don't have a problem with that. And I said, just go again on that, like, you know, depression, anxiety, or he says, we don't have a problem. And I'm like, yet the most grateful and helpful people and smile at you all day, yet they can't rub 2 cents together. I just thought, what a dichotomy. They have got no money, yet they're not depressed. Isn't that interesting? So if you're truly grateful for something, you can't get, you know, it removes the belief, if that makes sense. Everyone got that? Okay, good. Good. So, money. There's under what we just did, there's some gold under that rock, and if you're still moving through things, make it okay, all right? And for the people that have got mastery, if we go back to the 4 stages of skill learning, where do you need to go and do more on? How do you then go back to consciously incompetent again? How do I get more through that, right? And go a little bit deeper. All right, good. Who likes limiting beliefs and money and tackling all that stuff? Say yeah. Okay, good.